大家好，我是 Martin, and this is Short Stories brought to you by the Taichung Keda Language Center. Today, our story is called The Alchemist, written by Paulo Coelho, a Brazilian author, and I believe this is actually the first book that we are going to read that is still copyrighted. Yeah, it's a fairly recent book. I think it was published in 1988, I think. Not really sure. But you can still buy copies now, so you should go buy this book and read it. It's very, very interesting. It is a classic story about a boy going on a journey to discover true wisdom. So something that we can all find fascinating. Okay, so let's start by doing the vocabulary and vocabulary example sentences. Then we will read the story, and then we will finish with the reading comprehension questions. Are you ready? Let's begin. Vocabulary. Shepherd. Shepherd. The shepherd sat on the grassy hill and looked down over his sheep. Interpret. Interpret. I love to interpret the meaning of my dreams because they are so interesting. Journey. Journey. I journeyed to Chile and stayed in one of the colorful houses facing the sea. Convince. Convince. I was very shy, but Rebecca finally convinced me to go to the party with her. Rob. Rob. Did you hear that a thief robbed Estelle and took all of her money? Pursue. Pursue. Connor decided to pursue a career in math because he loved solving math problems. Oasis. Oasis. In the desert, I found an oasis where I could get water and stay cool under the trees. Tribal. Tribal. The tribal paintings showed pictures of what life was once like for the Indian tribe. Hawk. Hawk. The dark hawk circled the sky, looking for food on the ground below. Comfort. Comfort. I get a lot of comfort from hot chocolate and a thick blanket on cold winter days. Accompany. Accompany. Jaden asked Kylie to accompany him to the school dance. Capture. Capture. The police captured the thief and took him to jail. Alarmed. Alarmed. Mary was alarmed to find that someone had broken into her house. Sandstorm. Sandstorm. All the people in the desert stayed in their homes during the sandstorm. Pray. Pray. Megan prayed that her sick mother would get better. Force. Force. When I want to give up, a force within me always keeps me going. Illustrate. Illustrate. The teacher tried to illustrate to her students how Gandhi changed the world. Jewel, jewel. Sandy loved all the shining jewels in necklaces and rings at the jewelry store. That's the vocabulary. Now we will read the story. In the ruins of an old church in Spain, an old sycamore tree grows. A young shepherd, Santiago, sleeps amidst the roots, only to have the same dream, night after night. In the dream, a child tells him to seek treasure at the foot of the Egyptian pyramids. Curious, Santiago asks a gypsy woman to interpret the dream. To his surprise, she tells him to go to Egypt. Later, a strange, magical old man claiming to be the king of Salem repeats the gypsy's advice. He tells Santiago that it is his personal legend or mission to journey to the pyramids. The man convinces Santiago to sell his sheep and use the money to start his trip. However, when Santiago arrives in the next town, a thief robs him. To earn money, Santiago signs on with a local crystal merchant. The kind merchant teaches Santiago several lessons. In turn, Santiago helps the merchant with his business. Santiago becomes rich in just a year. Santiago uses his earnings to pursue his personal legend, to find treasure at the pyramids. He joins a caravan crossing the Sahara Desert toward Egypt. There, he meets an Englishman studying to become an alchemist. The Englishman teaches Santiago that the secret of alchemy is written on a stone called the Emerald Tablet. The ultimate creation of alchemy is a stone called the Philosopher's Stone that turns lead into gold. Another alchemy secret is the elixir of life, which can cure all ills. The Englishman is traveling to an oasis to study under a powerful 200-year-old alchemist. Once at the oasis, the caravan stops to avoid tribal wars in the desert. Santiago falls in love with a beautiful woman named Fatima. One day, Santiago sees two hawks attacking each other in the sky. He reads it as a sign of an army attack. He warns the tribal chieftains, and as a result, they successfully defend themselves. The alchemist hears about Santiago's vision. He brings Santiago on a trip into the desert and teaches Santiago about the importance of listening to his heart. The alchemist convinces Santiago to leave the comfort and love he's found at the oasis to finish his journey. He accompanies Santiago and teaches him about the soul of the world, which communicates with one's heart. However, a tribe of Arab soldiers captures them. The alchemist warns the Arabs that Santiago is a powerful alchemist who can turn into wind within 3 days. Santiago feels alarmed, for he doesn't have the ability. He communicates with the wind and the sun and convinces them to help him create a sandstorm. He prays to the hand that wrote all, the force behind all life, and disappears into the storm. When he reappears on the other side of the camp, the tribesmen are awed. They let him and the alchemist go. Stopping at a monastery, the alchemist turns lead into gold using the Philosopher's Stone. He gives Santiago gold and sends him off At the pyramids, Santiago's heart tells him where to dig for treasure, but two men stop him. They learn of Santiago's vision, and one of the men tries to illustrate the worthlessness of dreams. He tells Santiago about his own dream of treasure buried in an abandoned church under a sycamore tree in Spain. Santiago finally understands. He returns to Spain and finds jewels and gold buried under the tree, where he slept so many nights. He plans to return with it to the oasis where Fatima awaits for him to tie the knot. Now let's do the reading comprehension questions. I will read 4 questions. You try your best to answer them. Question number 1. What was Santiago's dream about? A. An old church and a tree. B. The Alchemist. C. Treasure buried under the pyramids. D. The Philosopher's Stone. The answer is C. He dreamt about treasure at the foot of the pyramids. 2. Who did Santiago meet in the Sahara Desert? A. The King of Salem. B. A crystal merchant. C. Fatima. D. The Alchemist. He met the alchemist in the desert. He met Fatima in the oasis, and he met the crystal merchant in the King of Salem in Spain. So the answer is D. The Alchemist. Question 3. What magical power did the Philosopher's Stone have? A. It can turn gold into lead. B. It can turn lead into gold. C. It can cure all ills. D. It can help you communicate with the soul of the world. Well, D might be true, but the book doesn't really say. What the book does say is that the stone can do B. It can turn lead into gold. Question 4. Where was the buried treasure? A. Under the pyramids in Egypt. B. At the oasis. C. In the Sahara Desert. D. Under the sycamore tree in Spain. The answer is D. Under the sycamore tree in Spain. He had to go right back to where he started. That's where the treasure was. Now, it all depends on what you consider to be treasure. Is treasure gold? Or can knowledge and wisdom also be called treasure? Because if knowledge and wisdom are treasure, that means the treasure was actually at the oasis. Or maybe it was at the pyramids. Or maybe the entire journey was the location of the treasure. Everywhere. Well, anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you find your treasure buried somewhere. Okay, bye-bye.